Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. This is Midnight Moon Tarot and I'm Diana. This reading is for the astrological sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, or anywhere in your birth chart that Gemini might appear. Also, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to take a second and invite you to subscribe and click that little bell so that you're sure to be notified whenever I upload new content. Also, in the description box below, you'll find links to my social media, my Patreon, my PayPal, and links to some really cool things on Amazon I think you guys will like. Okay, so this reading is for the month of March 2020, keeping in mind that all tarot readings are timeless. So whether you come across this reading right after I upload, a week, month, or even a year or so from now, if you feel drawn to listen to it, then most likely you will find a message for you within the reading. Also, if you feel it doesn't completely resonate with you, then this is why I say at the beginning of my intro, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, because if you know your other planetary placements, you can listen to those readings as well so that you can have additional messages. And sometimes, if you're like me and a lot of other people, you'll find that your ascendant or your rising sign will give you a more accurate reading than even your sun sign. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards and calibrate them to the astrological sign of Gemini. And ask our angels, guides, and ancestors. Oh, that card jumped out. I don't really read jumpers. I'll tell you what it is. It's the Seven of Cups, but I don't read jumpers. I think it's just because the card flopped out. Okay. All right. I never did, and then some of my subscribers had asked me to please read them, and then it just really, after the spread was laid, the cards really just basically didn't have anything to do with. I know for different readers it may work differently, but for me, I don't like reading reversals, but I do because my subscribers like them, and I don't like reading the ones that jump. There's so many messages within the card in its upright position. Anyway, all right. Okay. Spirit, what love messages do you have for Gemini for the month of March 2020? Spirit, what love messages do you have for Gemini for the month of March 2020? Spirit, what love messages do you have for Gemini for the month of March 2020? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and divide these into 3. Okay, and the card on the bottom of the deck is the Four of Wands. How wonderful. Okay, now the Four of Wands talks about a celebration. It also talks about, like a joyous union with your soulmate. You see the Four of Wands mimic the 1111. And as we go through this reading, I'm going to show you how that card is going to relate to, let me get off my wall here, it's squeaking too much. I'm going to show you how this card is going to relate to the other cards that come up in your reading, okay? Now, for those of you who are new here, okay, oh my gosh. I paused because I started recording before. And I shuffled and I shuffled and I did a premeditative session and I laid out a reading and the same reading came up for Taurus. Exactly, same order. And now I'm laying this one out. I did it a second time. This is the third time and okay. So I guess it's just meant to be. That's just what it's about. Okay. Gemini, so we're just going to keep it because apparently Spirit wants you to hear this message as well. So we have the Three of Swords as well as the Wheel of Fortune. So there may have been a period of time where there was a third-party situation going on, or you may have felt as if your partner was involved in a third-party situation. Things have changed, however, and now this person is had a change of heart, so to speak, and seeing the error of their ways, and everything is changing. Sometimes people can do that, like the grass is greener on the other side, or all those old sayings that they say that have a little grain of truth in them. And it's human nature sometimes to um, pull back when you're overwhelmed by a commitment or something, or they see their friends doing all these different things and they feel as if they're tied down between work and home or family life, or kids or whatever is going on. And so they sometimes look outside the relationship for a diversion. It doesn't necessarily mean that they don't love you. It might mean that they don't quite yet respect the relationship because they haven't realized the value of it. But once if they did this, and now that you may have become aware of it and confronted them with it and laid down the law about what you expect and what you don't expect, things are changing. Okay, so you are definitely in a new cycle with this person where the two of you are more committed to each other. So your partner has the Seven of Swords in their past, as well as the Four of Pentacles, which is what's going on with them currently. So of course the Seven of Swords talks about the sneaking around, the lying, the manipulating, the deception, not completely being truthful with you, which goes right hand in hand with this Three of Swords. And now that you guys are in this new cycle, they are more focused on the home, the relationship, the family, if you guys have children or a family together. And yeah, the last few Geminis I've read, it's kind of like the same type of theme. It feels like it's for a young family, or maybe a couple that lives together and maybe has a child or two or something. It's what this reading feels like. And I'm not out for anybody specifically, but these are the messages that I receive when I sit down to read. So I just tell you guys what comes through. Okay, and like I said, if you're a cross watcher, reverse the roles or whatever, take what does resonate with you and leave the rest. All right, and check your other planetary placements in your birth chart. Now, in your obstacles, challenges, fears, anxieties, we have the Moon, and we have the Five of Wands. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't see it in the camera too well. All right, so with the Moon, we have things that are hidden, that have come to light. Things that, like earlier, we're talking about this Seven of Swords as well as this Three of Swords. And it's like this person, really felt like they were going to get away with it. Now you see the moon is actually an eclipse. So after the shadow has moved off of the moon, it again is illuminated just like daylight. A full moon a lot of times on a clear of night, it's just as light as daylight sometimes. So all the things that they thought that they were doing in the dark have come to light. And this has caused quite a bit of anxiety and petty arguing or things like that. What's coming to my mind right now is, there's a lot of things that I'm hearing from my subscribers who write to me for readings and stuff, and they tell me, when they find out that these things are true, or maybe they looked at their partner's phone, their partner will say something like, well, you shouldn't have looked at my phone and you wouldn't have hurt feelings right now. No, you would just still be sitting there being made a fool of while they continue to sneak around behind your back with the other. Now, the Seven of Swords right here, because he's a thief, because he's a liar, he's also a thief, and he's stealing your what is the word? My brain quit. Okay, he's stealing from you the decision whether you want to stay or not. Okay, because you have the right to make that decision. If you knew before you got into this relationship, or you knew as soon as they found out that they were doing this, would you have stayed? They're stealing your choice. That's the word. Okay, all right. So, this has caused quite a bit of arguing. But, however, like I said, they've seen where they were wrong, and it's a brand new cycle. So in the outcome, we have the Ace of Wands as well as the Six of Cups. Okay, guys. So you're you're soulmates, okay? And there's a lot of physical attraction going on here. There is also still a lot of lessons that you need to learn in order to get to this 1111. These two cards right here speak very loudly and very clearly to me that this person is a soulmate, or it could be even a twin flame for you, since there seems to be a little bit of drama and sneaking around and things like that, where you have to continue to learn these lessons to elevate to the next level, like level up, okay? So, hold on, let me set these here. Yeah, there's a lot of attraction. It's like, even though the two of you separate, neither of you really want to be with anyone else, okay? So, in your column again, we have the Nine of Wands as well as the Seven of Wands. All right, and your partner has the Nine of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, okay? In your obstacles and challenges, we have the Emperor and the Seven of Cups. And in your outcome, we have Page of Swords and the Hierophant, okay? All right, so this Nine of Wands is telling me that, you're still feeling kind of guarded. You still feel kind of, like you don't completely trust this person yet. You love them with all your heart, but it's like you're walking on eggshells waiting for the next shoe to drop, or whatever little cliche there is that describes that feeling. And because during these separations, or when you find out about these things, you talk to your friends and you talk to your family about these kind of things that you feel like your partner is doing, and they give you advice, but you go with your heart instead of what you're hearing from your friends, and you go back to this person. You feel like you have to defend this relationship. You feel like everybody's like, why are you with them if they're so terrible? Or I'm tired of hearing about all these little dramas between the two of you. Either leave them or stay with them. But you feel so drawn to this person that you can't leave them alone, and you're basically really tired of defending your position when it comes to this. And I don't know where this lens flare comes from. I've moved everything around. I don't know where it's coming from. Okay, but it looks kind of cool. It looks like I've got light shooting out of my eyes. Okay, so in your partners, we have the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. Now, during the time that you left them, they felt very remorseful. They really, really understood what it is going to be like if you walk out of their life, and that, what you would be giving them is just not going to be enough to sustain them, that they will feel always that they are not receiving enough from you when you're separated. They feel hungry. They feel out in the cold. They feel, completely separated. In the Bible, it talks about, like when you're in hell, it's the separation from God that's so horrible. Well, not that you're God or anything, but this person feels that separation so deeply when they are without you that they can't think, they can't eat, they can't sleep. They're worried what you're doing. They're worried who you're with. Even if you're going out with your friends, they're worried about it. That's all they can think of. And I see that, you have this Wheel of Fortune, and it tells me that definitely things are changing. For whatever reason, something really, really hit home with them, and they're changing. So we have the Emperor as well as the Seven of Cups. So you're feeling like, this person really, really is your mate. This person is the one that you would have your security, your home, your little family, and everything going along with it. You have a lot of opportunities that are presenting themselves, and you feel like, is this going to interfere with my relationship with this person? You could have a career offer where you're working opposing hours from your partner, so you may not see each other as much. Or it could even be in a different city, and maybe your partner's not ready to move to that other city, and you're going to have to choose between these opportunities and your person. All right, and so in your outcome, we have the Page of Swords as well as the Hierophant. So, there's going to be a lot of messages here where you're going to be telling your partner that, you're really finding your voice, and they have really come to the realization that you're just not going to tolerate their mistreatment or their crap anymore, and that you're on to them. You're not really doing that. This is going to trigger in your partner perhaps something like a proposal if you're not already married, or a reconciliation if you are separated. This person is doing this in order to hang on to you or to lay claim to you. However, because there is this attraction, and you do view this person as your emperor, and you guys are soulmates, you have two soulmate cards here, it might be an opportunity that you actually consider. So now we're back to your column. We have the High Priestess and the Chariot. We have the World and the Ten of Pentacles for your partner. We have the Fool and the Four of Cups for your obstacles and challenges. And we have the Two of Wands and the King of Swords. Two of Wands and the King of Swords for your outcome. Now, I always draw an additional 2 cards at the end, and it's the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So this is looking really good here. This looks to me like, you've made your decision. You're ready to move forward, but you feel as if you're a little held back. You're not going to rush into this thing. And the reason I say that is a lot of people see the Chariot as something that's really fast moving. This is, where the surrounding energies and stuff are really wanting to move forward, but something or someone is holding back. You are thinking about, making a lifelong decision here, and you just want to make sure that you are making the right decision. You see these little griffins or whatever they are, sphinxes, they're sitting down, they're not moving, and the chariot driver is sitting there impatiently, like, giddy up, let's go, let's move. But they're not, because they want you to take time and think this decision over very carefully and very thoughtfully before you just jump right into it, to make sure that it actually is exactly what you do want in your life. And your partner has the World as well as the Ten of Pentacles. So like I said, as this whole thing has changed, as they have found out exactly what it is they have to lose, and they have changed everything, they realize that with you they can have a home, life, security, family, and that the world is actually basically going to be at the two of you's feet. You'll be an unstoppable force. You guys will walk down the street and the walls will bend. It's like you're like the couple that everybody is going to admire or look up to, okay? Now, in your obstacles and challenges, we have the Fool and we have the Four of Cups. So you are ready, thinking about, okay, maybe do I just jump right in and totally forgive? Do I forget about the things that have happened in the past? No, you don't forget about them. You can forgive them. But, you have this little guy here, and he has these 3 cups, home, security, marriage, life, happiness, whatever in front of him. And you're afraid that your partner is going to get bored again. You see how this little guy is sitting here? So he has all these things, but it's just like nothing's really satisfying them. And so those are the things, these are in your fears, obstacles, challenges, things like that. So this is what you're afraid that this is where this card comes in. So this is where you feel guarded. This is where you feel like, do I really trust this person again after they hurt me so much previously? Okay, now in your outcome, we have the Two of Wands as well as the King of Swords. So you are definitely looking towards your future. You had the High Priestess earlier, which is the major arcana with the number 2. All of the cards in the tarot, for whatever suit they're in, when they are in number 2, it relates back to the High Priestess as far as kind of having similar meanings. It's always about making decisions. And you have this little guy here holding this globe in his hand, looking out towards the future, trying to decide, you know, the best way to go, the best way to work this thing. And your partner is understanding that you are absolutely, positively not put up with any more foolishness again, okay? You can basically put them in check, okay? All right, and the final two cards in your outcome is the Nine of Cups as well as the Ace of Pentacles. And so you can see this little archway, this little doorway. It's brand new beginnings, a brand new life. You have the Ace of Pentacles, which is about security and loyalty and trust. And you have the Nine of Pentacles, and that's all about, you know, having everything that you need to have a happy life and a happy home. You're not quite to the Ten of Cups. There's still a little bit of growth that needs to be done on both partners' sides. And as you do that, you will come into a stronger and stronger relationship as time passes. Okay, Gemini, so that is your reading for the month of March 2020. And I would like to take a second and tell everybody thank you so much for all of your subscribes, likes, shares, comments, all of your very generous donations. I appreciate that so much. And thank you to the ones who have written and requested a personalized reading. And I just want to tell you guys that I love you, and I will see you here in just another week or so for your March mid-monthlies. Okay, bye-bye. Love you.